Welcome back to Pokemon News of the Week. Today's headlines: 8 brand new decks released in Japan the other day. Registration for Pokemon Sleep has just begun. And Exeggutor has taken over Miyazaki Prefecture. All that and more in Pokemon News of the Week. Welcome back everyone for Pokemon News of the Week. My name is Bob and here are today's headlines. We don't have as much to talk about this week because there weren't so many announcements, but there are still a few things, so we're going to have a nice short video today. First off, I want to talk about the EX decks that dropped in Japan the other day. Basically, there were 8 brand new decks that released in Japan, as well as 2 secret decks. Up on the channel, we already have a video looking at 4 of these really cool decks. I believe it was the Grass, Fire, Water, and the Psychic type deck. And next week, we're going to take a look at the other 4 decks, which include the Steel, the Dark, the Electric, and the Fighting decks. And those look pretty cool. In addition to that, there was the release of these Omakase decks. Basically, the Omakase deck is a kind of leave it to us kind of random possible chance of 1 out of 10 decks. Yes, that's right, 1 out of 10. There are 2 secret decks. Basically, there is a Dragonite deck and there is a Greedent deck. And I don't want to spoil this video, but we did get one of those decks, so I will let you watch that to find out for them. The good news, if you are in Japan right now, these are easily purchasable in pretty much anywhere, including convenience stores, electronic stores, toy stores, and so on. I went out to Nipponbashi the other day down in South Osaka, because I live in Osaka, and they had boxes and boxes of these in different shops. So if you're looking for them, it's probably pretty easy for you to pick up. But my recommendation is to take a look in convenience stores. Those would probably be the easiest place and probably the most convenient. Yeah, I know that wasn't funny. In other news, the registration for Pokemon Sleep has just started. This is the brand new gimmicky application from the Pokemon Company that tracks your sleep. Yes, that's right, they are going to be tracking your sleep. And there are 3 kinds of sleep that they're going to track. There is going to be dozing, there is going to be snoozing, and there's going to be slumbering. The concept is, with the brand new accessory, the Pokemon Go++, or just with your phone, they're going to be able to track how deep of a sleep you go into. And what that allows you to do is to catch certain specific kinds of Pokemon, and that's basically it. You can share your sleep data with other people, you can catch all kinds of Pokemon, I guess. There's not really a ton of information on it, but interestingly with this, there is a brand new little gadget device coming out called Pokemon Go++. First off, that's a stupid name. How has the Pokemon Company not realized that this is not going to really work? Like, why Pokemon Go++? That's just, I don't get it. But anyway, this is going to be the thing that you put on your bed to track your sleep, and it also works in line with Pokemon Go, so I think you can transfer Pokemon between the 2. It's going to be interesting, it's going to be gimmicky, but I want you guys to think back. Do you remember Pokemon Smile? Probably not. This was the toothbrushing app that you can get on Android and Apple devices, and I don't know how many downloads this had, but I'm gonna guess it's not that many. And I have a feeling that this Pokemon Sleep is going to be a lot like this. It's a fun idea at first, but it may not go anywhere. Either way, I've registered and I'm going to give it a go just to see what it's like, but I'm probably going to stop using it after a week because I think the device is just going to get in the way. But anyway, registration has begun. If you're going to sign up for it now so you can get kind of an early access when they do open up. So yeah, Pokemon Sleep registration has begun. Next up, there has been a big announcement on Pokemon 151 in Japan. At the moment, it's kind of hit or miss if you can buy packets in shops or not. I have actually found quite a few packets myself around, and basically I am done with the set because I've got a full set and I just can't keep buying packets. But they have officially announced that they are going to be releasing a big stock from July 21st. So what that means is a lot of electric stores that we've already talked about on the channel are going to get a lot of stock in, and they're going to start selling out some of these cards. This is a great thing for fans and a great thing for tourists that are trying to buy up packets for their collections. The challenge right now is there are still people that are buying them all up and then trying to resell them for kind of a much higher price. There was actually a story on Twitter, I'm not going to post any pictures on it, but some people complaining because they couldn't buy more packets than they wanted to at Yodobashi Camera. But people are still trying to buy up everything. And this is kind of cool because what the Pokemon Company is doing is they're trying to print out as much as possible. earlier last year, I believe, they announced that they're opening up 2 more printing factories so that they can meet the demand of Pokemon cards, which is great for now. But I think in the long run, and this is just my own prediction, what's going to happen is a lot of people that collect cards for the kind of like the value, they are going to leave the hobby at some point, which means that these cards are going to be super easy for you to get hold of eventually. But this is kind of cool for now because just it means that lots of people can get stuff. There's no guarantee that they're going to release lots of stuff on the 21st, but it does mean that there is going to be a lot more stuff coming in. The Pokemon Company has also announced that with the Ruler of the Black Flame, which is kind of like the direct translation for the Kokoe no Shihaisha Japanese title, in English we say Obsidian Flames, this set, they've announced that they're going to have the first print as well be kind of a smaller, shorter print. So I'm kind of worried whether we can actually get a box or not. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But they're going to do kind of a short print initially and then kind of a much bigger print later on so that loads of people can get hold of it. I'm curious to see how this works, but anyway, for your information, from July 21st, if you're in Japan, check out electronic stores. There's a high chance you can probably buy some Pokemon 151. And our final headline for today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Miyazaki Prefecture down in Kyushu. It's one of the prefectures down there. And they right now have this interesting collaboration with Exeggutor. I don't know why Exeggutor specifically, maybe they've got some nice beaches, but it's kind of cool. What they've done is they've partnered with them for a couple of years with the Pokemon Company to use the Exeggutor character and the Alolan Exeggutor character as like kind of their mascot for a little bit. And what's cool is they have loads of different Exeggutor themed things around the prefecture. For example, there are, I believe, 26 different manholes that you can find throughout the whole prefecture with Exeggutor themed kind of designs. I'll put a couple of them up here so you can actually see them. But there's also a couple of extra things. For example, a Exeggutor themed bus, Exeggutor themed like bus tickets. So I don't quite know where this is going to take you. There's also a sake brewery, which is making a craft cola. So it's non-alcoholic, so children can take it or drink it. And yeah, this looks kind of cool. You can also have photos with Exeggutors and like there's like kind of balloon Alolan Exeggutors here and there. This is kind of interesting. So yeah, if you're in Miyazaki or you're in Kyushu, go check it out. This is kind of cool, kind of weird, kind of fun. But honestly, that's pretty much it for Pokemon news this week. There wasn't so much. There were a couple of announcements that came out in the West. For example, the announcement of an Oinkologne set coming out in September. So maybe I'll put some picture up on the side here. I think they also announced a few more of those balls, like kind of the Pokeballs, which have packets inside of them. Don't really know what they are because we can't get them in Japan. But yeah, I mean, there's a few other announcements. But there wasn't really so much in Japan this week. Now, I do want to quickly talk a little bit before we finish about the Ruler of the Black Flame, so the Kokoe no Shihaisha set, the Obsidian Flames set that's coming out in Japan. I've applied for about 50 lotteries, and I am waiting right now for results. There is a chance that next week I might be able to make a reservation. If I do, I will let you guys know in the next video so that you can get ready for a full unboxing coming on July 28th. But before that, we do have a lot of other videos coming out. I'm going to be setting up some of these kind of EX decks, so this Omakase deck as well as some of the other decks that have come out. So those videos will be coming too. I also have a Pokemon 151 Revenge video coming out. There's a lot of stuff coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And thank you all so much for your interesting live stream ideas. I'm very tempted to do pretty much all of them. So stay tuned in your feed. I will let you know when other things are coming. But I love you all, and I will see you next time in Pokemon News of the Week. Yeah, it's interesting. There just wasn't so much news this week. So yeah, I was even kind of considering not making a video, but I thought I've made this series now. I kind of have to keep going with it. So whether this is a 2-minute video or a 10-minute video or whatever, there's some news. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.